Hey guys, welcome back. This is Heather Hope with the Millionaire Manifester. How are you guys doing? I know it's been a couple of weeks since I posted last, but I'm here. We actually moved to California. A very quick move. And so I've been adjusting over here and having an amazing time, of course, because I love it. So I just wanted to pop on for just a few minutes, probably, and because I'm having this inspiration. And well, if you're new here, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you what this is even about. If you're new here, I'm Heather Hope, and I am a manifestation coach, and I am the Millionaire Manifester. You can follow me over on Facebook. That's where I have the biggest following. And my mission is to help 1 million people become millionaires. That's the mission of the Millionaire Manifester. So I'm over here with a podcast. I have hundreds of episodes, videos, all of that good stuff. So anyway, so today I've been thinking about doing more frequent podcasts, because that's what I'm calling these podcasts, of like more frequent, but um, um, sorry, I just got distracted. More frequent podcasts, but shorter ones, and more inspiration, because that's like the whole point, is to remind you of how powerful you are, and to remind you to keep going, keep persisting in what it is that you are manifesting. So let's get started with that. So first of all, okay, so I was talking to I have this VIP coaching group that I run, and you can jump in anytime. I'm creating a new website right now. It should be ready to go very, very, very soon. And then it'll all be good and easier for you guys to access. So I was telling them yesterday of how the one thing that I really want everybody to have a deep grasp in is that you are the creator of your reality. Like, that is the biggest goal for the people that I help. Like, you are literally creating your reality every second of every day. And that's a really big deal, because when circumstances arise, you get to decide, no, I'm not accepting this, and I'm going to do this instead. Let me give you a really quick example of something that happened last week. So last Friday I had this idea of going downtown. So we moved to Pismo Beach. We moved here a couple of years ago. So if you're in the Central Coast area, if you're in California at all, let me know. But if you're in the Central Coast, let me know, because this is where we live now. And so we live, a couple miles from downtown. And I was like, I knew it was Friday. I knew it was going to be more crowded with people, and the parking can be a challenge. And so I went to my husband and I'm like, how about we just take the bus to downtown, and so we can go out to dinner and stuff. He's like, okay, cool. So I thought it was going to be easy because there's a bus stop outside. And so he looks it up and he's like, it's going to be 40 minutes and 2 buses. And I'm like, it's 3 miles away. And he's like, I know. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking 40 minutes, 2 buses, and then it costs like $10, whatever, for each way, right? Well, that's 40 minutes each way. So I'm like, okay, I didn't like that answer at all, because we're a straight shot. We're literally on one street. We're on Pacific Coast Highway, and that's the street that takes you right into Pismo. So I'm like, we're 3 miles on this one road straight, right? And I'm like, I am not going on this wild goose chase of buses. So I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, no. So I got up and I was like, no, this is what I did. I said, no, I am the creator of my reality, and I'm going to get the best parking spot today. So we're going to drive. So I declared it. I claimed it. I stepped into my power and I claimed what I wanted. It was going to bypass all of the other stuff, that there's no parking, weekends are rough, all that crap, right? So, okay, so I dropped it, didn't think about it again. 2 hours later, we leave and we're driving into town. And I start to notice that there's some parking couple blocks away. Not a big deal. I'm like, oh, good. There is parking on the street. Okay, cool. The traffic wasn't as bad as I had seen before. And so I'm like, okay. So I just casually drove around downtown Pismo Beach, reminiscing because we used to live downtown Pismo last time. So I just felt like driving around, it just felt casual about it. We weren't in any hurry at all. And so I drove down a few streets and then came back around and went down the main street and was like, about parking, just kind of thinking about, I wonder if there's going to be good parking over here. So I drive down the main strip into the main parking lot where the pier is, right, where the beach is and stuff. And, there's people everywhere. I'm just like casually, just like, whatever, there's parking a couple blocks away. No, nothing. Like, it's not a big deal. We can walk. Zero deal, right? No big deal. And so the person in front of me in the parking lot was stopped because they were waiting for for someone to pull out. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just totally chill. That's just my attitude anymore. It's just chill, ease, grace, whatever. And as I'm just sitting there, and so this couple comes out. They had been fishing, I guess, off the pier, and they start loading the minivan that is in the very front spot, which is right in front of me. And so we're sitting there watching them. They're just casually loading up their minivan, like no hurry in the world at all with them. And that's fine because I'm not going anywhere. The person in front of me is waiting for the other person. And so I'm just sitting there and I look at my husband. I'm like, am I seriously going to get the best parking spot in Pismo? And he goes, it looks like it. And so I'm like, cool. I was just like, really, this is awesome. So as soon as the person in front of me gets their spot, these people, we're talking minutes, like a minute is a long time in a parking lot, right? We're talking minutes. There wasn't a whole lot of traffic. And people were just going around us anyway. It didn't matter. And so as soon as the car in front of me got their spot, these people just pulled right out and I pulled right in. And it's the very first parking spot, like the best parking spot in Pismo Beach. And I was just like in this awe of, holy crap, I did it. I said what I wanted, and that was that. Because I know I'm the creator of my reality, and so are you. I get to decide what it is I want, and so do you. And that's that. And I casually just did it. And, it wasn't a big deal. Obviously, it's a parking spot. No big deal. But that's really how we have to approach everything. Like how you manifest one thing is how you manifest everything. So, the whole knowing, so there's lots of lessons in this, but knowing that there was other parking spots that we could have taken a couple blocks away, no big deal. Like we had a backup plan, right? We didn't care. But I just kept kind of going through the parking lot, persisting like, okay, good. We'll come back to those spots if we don't find another one. And I just didn't care. It wasn't that big of a deal for me. And so the other thing is, not settling. That really wasn't settling. And I was telling my group yesterday, I'm like, when you settle, like when you start thinking about plan B, when you create a plan B and you focus on like the plan B, that whatever you focus on is what you're going to get. So that's why I know Abraham Hicks is like not about plan Bs. They're like, what is it that you want? Go for that. And so what I could have done was immediately pulled over into a spot and taken the first spot available. Right? Could have done that. But I just didn't feel like it. I was like, oh no, let's keep going. And so that's really how you manifest the things that you want. You don't settle. You just don't settle. And because if you settle, you keep living the life that you have been living, period. That's it. So when you have to decide what it is that you want, decide, be specific. The universe loves that. You have to be specific. You claim what it is you want. So, and then you keep going. You persist, right? When they talk about persisting, you persist of getting it. Like, this is what I'm getting. This is it. I'm not settling. And that's persisting. And that's demanding, claiming, setting your intention, all the words that describe this. You just keep going and until you get what it is that you want. That's it. So So a couple hours later, we came back to the car, and I was, well, after we parked, I was like, okay, well, this is the new rule in my world, is that I always get the best parking spots in Pismo Beach. Like, I just do now. That's a rule that I created. That's in my reality now. We walked back to the car, and I'm like, yes, this actually right here is my parking spot. They might as well put a plaque on the post right here that says it's my parking spot. That's what I said. So it is what it is. So, but I was just so happy to have that little lesson because, we need these reminders sometimes. And that's why I'm thinking of just doing some quick episodes for you guys to just have this kind of maybe a daily. I'm not quite sure if I can do daily again, but maybe a few times a week would be good, just to give some examples, some success stories that my clients have been giving me, that sort of thing. One of the things that one of my people in my group, she'll be listening to this. She keeps coming to our coaching sessions, and is just so appreciative of the group because of she lives in a small town, and I can relate because I just came from a small town. That when you don't have anybody to talk to about manifesting, it's really good to get connected with people to talk about these crazy ideas, right? Like we're kind of out there when it comes to subjects that we talk about, right? So join us. It's my VIP group. It's a coaching group. I go live, and last night I went live for 2 hours. It's typically an hour and a half to 2 hours. And you can ask all your questions, you get coaching. And sometimes it's only one person on the call, not usually anymore, but sometimes there is just one person. And when that happens, you get basically an hour of coaching from me. So it's pretty cool. I'll provide the link for you guys as soon as I have it again, since I'm updating my website and making things very, very easy. But I do offer private coaching and email coaching and our group coaching. So anyhow, guys, have an amazing rest of your day, and I will be back soon, I promise. Bye-bye.